With that, we come to the end of our powerful Sustainable Development Session 2. And let's now move on to Session 3 to listen and learn more from our next set of powerful speakers. In Session 3, we have 5 speakers. We begin with the role of technology to support energy transition and create economic sustainability by MIREILLE TOULEKIMA. She is the Managing Director, MT Energy Resources, Australia. Over to you, MIREILLE, for your session.
Good day, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I have a presentation as well, so I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So good day, everyone. My name is Mireille. I'm tuning in from Perth, Australia. And today I really want to talk about the energy transition that is going on right now, because I think it's an important factor for sustainability. And I want to focus on the role of technology in this
MIREILLE,
energy.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you put it on full screen mode? It's not on slide share. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Not yet.
So I want to focus on okay. I want to focus on the role of technology, and you probably see that technology is part of our everyday life, and that's also a key, a key thing that we need for generate energy, but especially as we move to clean energy. So just to tell you a bit about me, so it's been said, so I'm the CEO of MT Energy Resources, but I'll do a lot of empowerment work in STEM in general, STEM standing for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And I've worked around the world. I'm an engineer by background, petroleum engineer, so I've worked in the energy sector. It's been more than 25 years, and so still, continue to enjoy having an impact in that energy. So just to give you a little bit of context on what's going on and what is the status that we are in, and how the transition is really important, the technology at the same time. As you can see from what's happening in the world, we live in what we call a VUCA world, which is VUCA standing for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous as well. And we've seen it, things are changing at a high speed. We had uncertainty, we saw it with the pandemic. There's also some, the market is changing right now. So there's, this complexity is there. So we need to take this into account in everything that we do. And it has an impact on how we do business and how we want to drive this sustainability that we're looking for. And the second thing that we should take into account is that we are in the middle of a technical, an industrial revolution. This one is the fourth. And as you can see from this diagram, we've gone from a mechanical production, and equipment with manufacturing type of revolution, which was, a few decades ago, to now, moving first to the third industrial, which was more about the internet and automatic production, and now on the digital. And the digital is now taking, it is taking a lot of, space in every single industry. And I think now it's everywhere. We have, the digital taking the central stage for everything that we do. So the technology is really important into our life. And it's becoming even more important with all the new technology coming in, AI and all the revolutionary, things that we see right now going on. So there are a few. I'm not going to go through each, just to give you, an idea of the different technology that are available and that are affecting our life right now. So we have, the smart sensor, we have the big data, we have the Internet of Things, and so many things, going on. So those are two things that are actually impacting us and are playing a role in the sustainability, especially as we want to aim to those and have those sustainable goals reached in 2030. So just to give you now the reality that we are in, but looking at it more from an energy point of view. So what we've seen is that for a century, we were using a lot of the what we call the fossil fuel, which is oil and gas, for energy and all kind of, thing that we needed to generate energy at home or, at an industrial level. And in the 20s, we started the transition, transitioning through, something cleaner, because there's a climate change going on, there's green emission, and we really need to reduce this green emission. There've been, several platform, the COP26 recently, just looking at how we can, focus on producing clean energy and creating a better world for our children and for the next generation. And obviously we had, and when you look at the curve in terms of how, the consumption of energy, we've seen that it was just going up more. We are using more and more energy, and then it went down a little bit when COVID came, because of different things. We couldn't travel anymore, so that's less kerosene, less energy, and people were, more mobile, and things were, a lot of things were stopped because of COVID. So we saw this going down, but obviously with all the activity, coming up again, that's another issue that is, another thing that we need to manage to see how we can stay in the limit of, the emission, that the target that we've set ourselves and globally. So we are expecting a peak, when talking about energy consumption. But what we're trying to do is have renewable, which is in red, go up using cleaner energy, and get what we call the fossil fuel energy down. And it's a challenge. And as you're gonna see, people think that it's just the problem of energy company. No, we're all involved, and it will have an impact on how we deliver the sustainable development goals and create the sustainability as well. So that's the question that we ask ourselves when we look at this picture, and we look at the urgency to reduce the emission, the urgency of creating cleaner energy, and the urgency to also make sure that we produce we get energy to the people who need it, and for their daily life and everything that they do. So the key question is, how can we do that? And technology is one aspect that we've looked at, and that can actually make a difference in the sustainable development goal and creating sustainability for all of us. So just as I was, mentioning, it's not simple. It's not a simple process. It's going to need collaboration, because a number of industry are involved. It's not just the energy sector, it's all of us. As you can see, there's, if we move to cleaner energy, there's, the possibility to use thermal energy, but thermal energy, it's water. So what is going to be the water footprint? So we solve a problem, but we move to another problem. there's the reliability, because right now renewable energy is still not sustainable. It's something that is intermittent. So what do we do to make sure that it's sustainable as what we have? So that's one thing. There's the infrastructure as well. We need to see, on the infrastructure side, how we can, create efficient infrastructure that are energy efficient. There's the investment. So on the investment side, obviously renewable energy costs a lot more money. So how do we make it cost effective and make those smart investment? And there's also the quality, of the energy that we get, because yes, it's going to be clean, but how do we deliver it, and how, at what speed, and is it going to be on time, or are we going to have to do major adjustment? So just to tell you that it's going to need collaboration with other industry, and collaboration with different institutions. We see now a lot of the energy company collaborating with university, institute of research to really push, and the research to create the right technology to help, this transition that we are going through. There's the capability, because those are, new, like we said, new energy. So we need new skills, and we don't have the full spectrum of skill yet. So that's another thing. And it's going to impact as well the job, because a lot of people are going to migrate from the current energy system to the new energy. What are we going to do with them? Are we going to upscale them? So it's a lot, a lot of things to coordinate. So there's a lot of collaboration to be to be done in between, and also the flexibility. We have to create this flexibility in the system, how we're going to collaborate and how we're going to implement all of this. So not a very simple picture. So as people who are starting, who want to be involved in this industry, this is what they need to look at and see at which level they can bring something to make sure that this transition is happening. So just to talk about a few of the technology that are actually helping right now, we have, I talked about, the sensor technology in the energy sector, which helps, generate fast, data, because of the complexity of what's going on in the system. So we need, this real-time process to be able to get the data, and it would have not been possible without the technology. We also use, artificial intelligence as well to do all kinds of simulation, and sometimes, because a lot of, the processes and the operation are actually done remotely. It actually helps, in the training and in upscaling some of the, I was talking about the skills just right now, upscaling, the workforce, and making sure that, we have the right people to deliver this transition. There's the blockchain. I think, there's a lot of, talk about the blockchain. And I think it's helping a lot right now, because we can actually track down the emission and make sure that we adjust when we see that the data are going off chart, and make sure we use this technology to actually it actually helps us to have everything automated without having to physically check everything. And it's the same in the investment part, because a lot of those technologies are actually quite capital intensive. So with the some of the blockchain and the cryptocurrency, the visibility and the it gives visibility to all the investment, and also give a chance to a lot of people to participate because it's kind of selective right now. If you're not in the industry, it's very difficult. But now, you know, with this kind of flexibility in the investment, it gives us, you know, the possibility to make smart investment and be part of this transition, because as I said, everybody has to be part of it. But there are challenges. There are, you know, lots of challenges. On one side, there's, you know, what I call the polluter. Though you know, they've been using the energy, everything. You know, they've actually been the one responsible for the emission. So they are really pushing for renewable. But then you have the ones that are energy poor, which is mostly, you know, and we see here mostly in developing countries, especially in Africa, where they really need the energy for, you know, to have a, you know, to create, to boost our industry, the education industry, the health industry, basically have, you know, create a sustainable economy that will help them. So that's one of the challenge. How do we balance that? And how do we make sure, you know, we have an energy transition that take into account the local reality in every country or in every continent. And the other thing is, yes, we're talking about clean energy. That's the first phase. The energy that we produce is clean, but a lot of the things like the battery and when we use wind as well, how do we handle the waste? How do we manage that? How do we recycle all of this? And it's still very, very unclear about, you know, what we're going to do with all those batteries and all those you know, what we manufacture, the raw manufacturing product that we use to generate this this energy transition. So a lot of, you know, a lot of things still up there. Yes, that's the way we should go, but at the same time, we still need to look at, you know, on the long term. Yes, you know, the first phase, we will have the clean energy using renewable energy and all kind of technology. But the second phase, how do we improve and scale up the technology to be able to manage the waste, to be able to make sure that the emission or the pollution is not being coming later on. And that's, I think, the challenge that the industry still have, and also the challenge of making sure that, you know, the energy, the clean energy can be sustainable, because up to now, there's still, you know, I think the demand, the renewable energy cannot fulfill the demand, the global demand. There's still a mix that still need to be done, and I think that this mix will be needed for a long time, unless, you know, we start to decrease our energy need. And that's where, you know, the awareness is very important for people to understand how, you know, on a day-to-day basis, they can actually reduce their consumption of energy and help this process, this transition process, so that we can, you know, reduce our emission, you know, greenhouse emission, and help the climate change process that is going on. So just to, you know, as a takeaway, yes, the technology is, you know, the vehicle for the energy transition, and there are a number, you know, driver behind, you know, the transition. We need to look at, you know, a lot of what's going on economically, the political side, the political pressure, and we see it right now with what's going on in Europe, but obviously the technology is the most critical, as I mentioned. Another point that I really wanted to leave you with is that the energy is visible, it's available, and we will be able to produce this clean energy. But is it going to be, you know, is it going to be sustainable? And that's where, you know, we need to see what's going to be the mix. Are we going to continue to use, you know, fossil fuel fully Are we going to mix, have, a mixture of that? And I think it has to be addressed first locally, like I mentioned, because the situation are different for the different continent and the different country, but also look at how things can work for each one, each country and each continent, and address the challenge that are in front of them first. And then the clean energy, the transition will require still a lot of investment, and that's something that we need to look at. A lot of investment, but at the same time, we have to look at how smart, we're going to invest in this energy to allow the transition to happen. But obviously, the sustainability as far as the energy sector, the energy transition is concerned, is technology is key. And energy is at the center of everything. Like I said, energy will impact, will impact, health, will impact different sector. And so it's got to be a key and a central thing to manage as far as the Sustainable Development Goals is concerned. So that's all I had for today. And so if you want to continue the conversation or contact me, these are my details. And thank you for the opportunity to share on such a very important subject, and on this beautiful platform. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, MIREILLE, for that really eye-opening session. And as you mentioned, we have reached the tipping point and it's high time we took action. Thanks for touching upon the urgency to migrate to cleaner energy. And as you said, collaboration is indeed the key. Let's hope the listeners today will think about this and join us in our mission of building a sustainable world. Thank you so much.